Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to a mid-evening edition of the Missing Lynx post-game live stream podcasting. I'm Andrew Dukowitz from Sports Illustrated and Zone Coverage, and neither of these people got a half-assed internet tweet text invite to a shooting competition like Kayla McBride did. Travis Singleton, Sneaker Reporters, joining me. How's it going, man?
It's going good. Thanks for having me, Andrew. I appreciate you, man. Great game that I picked for sure, like a month ago.
It is wild how I saw Fee was playing and I was like, this is just a Travis thing. Like, this is just his luck.
It really is.
All of these other guests are trying to pick and choose, like, oh, maybe I'll get Fee's return. And Travis is like, give me the noon game.
You know what? Sometimes you got to roll with the punches, man. It happens like that.
And then Cassidy Hettesheimer from the Star Tribune. How's it going, Cassidy? You look like you're in a dungeon of sorts.
I'm in the office. I'm in a conference room. What is this? Old something.
It looks like there's storage. A lot of old like newspapers in there somewhere.
It's something of the sort. I have to go back and look there. I don't normally sit in this one, and I won't pull anything out on camera that maybe I don't want to share. Who knows what's in there? But no, it's been good. I had the game pulled up on a big conference room TV and was just. Are we waiting on everyone to file? Yes, we were waiting on everyone to file. Sorry, guys. I'll take the blame on the late start. But yeah, no, good game. Had it pulled up on a big conference room TV and was clacking away.
Kayla McBride posted this on her Instagram for a little bit. Also, for those that are so all caps concerned, I received a half-ass invite to the 3-point contest through my agent in a text randomly 48 hours ago, not officially. So posting things like I'm afraid of shooting smoke is weird. And if you didn't hear it from me, probably shouldn't believe it. Then says we should focus on younger talent and people in it. What's the weirdest half-assed text invite you've ever gotten to something, Travis? I feel like you have a good one.
For me, man, I would probably go my first All-Star. Like it was just one of those where like, everybody was like, hey, Travis, we're over here like hanging out with, Shaq, Charles and everybody. It would mean a lot if you really came over. And I'm like, okay, cool. But like, when is it? And they're like, oh, but it's tomorrow. And I'm like, well, like, what are we doing? Like, I need to plan for this type of thing. And when I actually went there, I wasn't even on the list. And they're, oh yeah, Travis, come on, man. So I felt bad. It was like a whole awkward type of thing. So like, it was like, you guys wanted me there, but then you don't want me there. So it's like, what are we doing here? So it was last second. So that's the one that pops to my mind. It was like real half-assed because I was like, like, am I really wanted or like what's going on here? And then when I walked in there, it was kind of awkward because like, Shaq was like, who are you? And I was just like, all right. So yeah, so it was just one of those awkward moments for me, but that was kind of one of those moments where I was like, all right, well, this is probably my like introduction to like media, so that's what happened.
Cassidy, any good ones? Jim Suhan invite you half-assed to a barbecue at some point?
Oh my gosh. Not Jim. Gosh. I had so long to think of an answer because going second in this question, and I don't know if I can think of one off the top of my head. But randomly, if we're halfway through the pod and I think of one, I'll interrupt our really important basketball conversations. And
please do. I'm looking forward to it.
We're looking forward to that.
I get a lot of half-ass invitations to go do things, but it's more because everybody knows that I am a homebody. So it's like, we'd really like you to come out and do something with us. But we understand that it's slightly above 80 degrees and there might be a mist in the air. And that means you're not leaving your house. So I get a lot of those invites where it's like, hey, we're doing this. We'd like you to come. We all understand why you are not going to come. So
yeah,
just know.
I mean,
let's get into the game, though.
I do feel slighted for K-Mac, though.
I mean... It's going to be interesting if she makes the All-Star game because then she's like in there watching it and it's like Sabrina also came out and said she never really got an invite. WNBA, it seems like it's on brand that they're sending it via text to the agents 48 hours before the event. Let's talk basketball though. Lynx do pull off the win. They actually held the team under 85 points, which was very refreshing. Cheryl seemed pretty happy about it post game. And Napheesa Collier comes back, which that's probably going to be the majority of what we talk about tonight. Starts off a little slow, 1 for 7, 2 points, 3 rebounds, and then just kicks it into overdrive her last 16 minutes. She goes 8 for 13 for 7 rebounds and 22 points in 13 minutes. I don't know. Pretty good, right, Travis?
Man, like I said earlier, like on Twitter, like unreal. Like, it's just crazy how you can just plug somebody back in like that. And, it's like they don't miss a beat, right? You bring a former defensive player of the year back, and all of a sudden the team's playing defense, right? So it was just a breath of fresh air to see her. Obviously we see her grinding at practices and pregame and, all the work she's putting in. But to just see the fact that she was able to just still be in the flow of the game, didn't look forced at all. It looked like exactly how she said it. Like, hey, I'm going to focus on the defensive end, get the rebounds, deflections, any way I can help the team. And she definitely did that. I mean, I wasn't expecting 20 shots, but we'll take them all day, So when you're watching somebody that great, and she still, the thing I was watching for was the footwork, right? Like, she likes her pump fake and her step through. So I was kind of watching for those to see if she had any tweaks or anything. And she looked like she was in mid-season form. Obviously she had some moments where she was winded. But it was special to watch. And I'm glad they got the W. And I'm glad that she was able to come back before the All-Star break. So now she gets to kind of, it's the game's already out the way. So when I come back, I'm ready to bust your ass. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, poor Toronto. Like, just woof. That's gonna be tough.
Get twice.
just gonna get 30-minute fee in back-to-back games. Where, I mean, I don't know, Cassidy. We were talking about before we got on here. It seemed like Seattle found out Fee was playing and then was just like, we'll just let Dom or Awa kind of match up on her and single coverage and see how it goes. Do you think that happens again for the rest of the season? Because Fee just cooked them.
No. I mean, teams know it's coming now. And, I think that, even when a player comes back that first game and, you don't know like how much they're going to play. And obviously the Lynx are a team that you can't afford too much to kind of pull too many resources from other matchups that they got to pay attention to. And so I think that maybe that's just sort of what we'll see, from here on out is, maybe not Fee in particular being left, sort of one-on-one or whatever matchups that they put on her, but just something's got to give. And in that game, it was this, and maybe they just hoped she was a little slower to start and had some rest to shake off, which she shook off very quickly. And, maybe that changes around, as we kind of head through the back, not even half of the season, 16 games. That's it's, yeah. I'm shocked at how fast this season has gone by.
I feel like it's always that way with the WN, especially like Travis, you and I both cover the NBA too. Like,
yeah,
that season feels like such a slog. And then the WNBA season, you just blink and it's halfway over. And now there's only a third of it left. And we're in the home stretch. I guess just like one game sample size might not look this good every single game, but I'm kind of in the, I don't know what you do to stop this offense, because now you're going to have to double Fee. K-Mac got 20 points on 14 shots, like hyper efficient. I think she had like 17 in the first half or something like that. Just ludicrous K-Mac game. Court only played 20 minutes, so she was kind of a non-factor tonight. I really don't know what you do at this point to stop the Lynx's offense, which that's not how Cheryl wants it, I'm sure. But I mean, where are you sitting at with the offense that we're going to be seeing over the next month and a half, 2 months?
I mean, well, Cassie, you want to go ahead?
No, you can go ahead. I'm letting it marinate.
Okay. Percolating. She's percolating.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for me, this is like they said, like, it's like candy in the store. Liv she's gonna be able to feast. you know, and she's going to be able to get easy assists. I mean, I said it before. I mean, Liv has made Natasha Howard an all-star for sure. Those pocket passes, those pick and rolls. So now you're going to be doing that with Fee now. And then K-Mac's going to be roaming around. This just, I don't know how you really stop this, you know, honestly. I think the only way you stop them is you just hope that they miss, right? So that's going to be the best bet. I mean, like you said, court only had 20 minutes. I mean, it's going to be really tough, challenging. Obviously, you're going to want to throw everything that you can at Fee, you know, like Seattle did. You know, you're going to throw the kitchen sink at them, trying to stop that offense. But, I mean, if Fee doesn't have it going, K-Mac will probably have it going. If K-Mac don't got it going, Liv's like, hey, I've proven I can hit 5+ threes. You know, so, I mean, you got Howard. You still got Courtney, you know, so it's gonna be tough, a tall task for any team, honestly. I'm curious to see how they look against Vegas, and obviously we got a couple of matchups coming up with Indiana. I want to see how that looks as well. So, you know, this team is gonna be tested, and I like what I'm seeing, man. It's just defensively, I think this is the nucleus that they needed, and they finally got it. So, you know, I so many people are panicking about the defense. You add a former defensive player of the year in the mix, everything's calmed down, you know. So I think the only thing that they can do is beat themselves at this point. Cassidy, how you feel about that? I think honestly, it's one of those teams are just gonna hope that they miss. And this feels like Golden State when they had Kevin Durant.
Yep.
In my opinion, you know what I'm saying. So this is kind of what I'm looking at. So you just kind of hope that they miss.
Yeah, I think that, you know, it'll be interesting to see, you know, kind of how much with feedback the Lynx like ability to sort of hum offensively feels like it kind of lives and dies by like how teams pressure Liv and like what the, you know, she's been able to do and how much they're able to like take her out of the game. I mean, there were points today like watching Fee work with her back to the basket and her footwork of just sort of being able to like create something out of nothing in a way that like Liv quite statistic like literally does in terms of like what percent of her shots are unassisted. It's something absurd, like 78% or something. And, you know, obviously Fee's like playing in a different spot in the floor, but just like, I don't know. I think it'll add like another, what's the word I'm looking for? Like safety net or like pressure valve sort of like, if it is a game like today where, I mean, Courtney and Liv shot a collective 25%. You know, not the best. I mean, Cheryl called that out of like their guard play wasn't necessarily like great. And Maya, you know, came in and played some big minutes down the stretch, even just sort of hitting those threes and kind of steadying them defensively on the offensive boards. But, you know, that won't be every game. And so, you know, I'll be interested to see when they're both kind of humming at the same time, like what that looks like.
I'm very excited. I'm going to use excited is actually the word of it, of like when Cheryl comes back from All-Star break.
Fair, yeah.
Well, like I'm just excited to pick her brain about it because like after we've had a good enough sample size, because if we ask Cheryl about it now, of like, what do you think about the offense? She'll do the like ho-hum, you know, Luigi kicks a rock type of thing of, you know, I don't know what we got time still. It's a work.
Got to look at film.
Right. But like 10 games from now, if this goes the way I kind of expect it to, one of my favorite things last year was asking Cheryl at practices of just like, well, what would you do? Like, how would you like attack this stuff? And she would normally give like a really good answer of like, well, you'd have to double here and then you'd bring help from the corner. And we had a back and forth last year where I was just like, yeah, but then you bring help from the corner and like BC's open. Like, that's not good. And Cheryl would just kind of laugh of like, yeah, but that's like, that's our design.
Team. Yeah.
You live with that. Yeah. You got to live with it.
Yeah. And this year it's not BC. It's Courtney Williams, a 40% 3-point shooter. It's K-Mac, a historically good 3-point shooter. Nia, who's a 40% 3-point shooter. Yeah. Like it's not just streaky BC, which, you know, BC last year, for all we love, you know, her, she wasn't necessarily effective for most of the season shooting the basketball. This year it's like, man, if you're leaving court open, she's gonna murder you on that, and then she's gonna talk to you about it her entire way back down the court. K-Mac's gonna do the same thing if it's kicked out to Liv. Like she's been hitting stand-up shots. I don't know what teams do other than what you said, Travis, is just make them miss or hope they miss. I do want to, there was a chat before we started here that was just asking about Natasha Howard sports with Luke. Hi, Luke. Just what we think about her offensive production. Any thoughts on Tosh and kind of her recent, I don't know if there's struggles, but just she's chunked some layups, I think is the easiest way to say it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Cassie.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this because like been writing sort of about, previewing All-Star and obviously like the way that her and Liv started the season and just that tandem, like really lifting the two of them, to All-Star, starter caliber play. And, there was a point sort of when I was working on that story that'll come out eventually of, asking Cheryl, like how much attention does that, like where does their pick and roll game sort of stack up in terms of what opponents are considering defensively, as the season kind of evolved. And there was a point, a few weeks ago, this was before, K-Mac had sort of gotten on her heater where Cheryl said, it's the number one thing. It's what teams know we want to do, essentially, and they have to account for it. So I think some of it's probably that of like not necessarily getting those easy looks. I mean, that doesn't factor in for like missed layups where like she is getting the ball at the rim. Still been effective on the offensive glass, rebounding, but not necessarily shooting kind of the at the efficiency that she was to start the year. I mean, I don't know. Maybe some of it's minutes, maybe some of it's matchups. I don't know. I'd be curious y'all's thoughts on that. But I definitely think it's something that like opponents are worried about and considering sort of in their defensive scouting.
Yeah, Travis, where are you sitting?
I mean, for me, I think it's definitely what Cassidy's talking about. I mean, obviously a couple of those are missed layups, easy bunnies down the stretch of games. Like I'm looking at missed layups after some great passes, and she's right at the rim. Could be matchup wise, like you said. But what I think she's lacking in offensively that we saw in the beginning of the season, now she's bringing it defensively with the stocks, right? Steals and blocks, right? She had 4 today. So those are the different areas that I think she's going to be able to excel now that Fee's back. You kind of got to make that adjustment. But offensively, I feel like if you can get, 10 to 15 points from Howard every night, I'm good with that moving forward with what they have right now. And whatever, there's gonna be nights where it's gonna be K-Mac's night, it's gonna be Tashi's night, it's gonna be Liv's night, Court's night, it's gonna be Fee's night, obviously. So it's just more so her finding that fitting, I think, when you have to make adjustments to the matchups, right? So if somebody's on Fee, I mean they're doubling Fee, she's gonna get those easy layups. So it's all about how she affects the game when she gets those opportunities. And I'll be curious to see what happens, down the stretch with her. Obviously being an all-star is a huge, accolade. And I want to see that, improve her aggressiveness, but also her mentality. Like, I am an all-star, so let me continue to play that way. I don't want the team to be like, all right, Fee's here, everybody move out the way, right? So I think it's one of those where if everybody continues to play the game they played, like Cheryl said earlier, she's gonna mesh into the lineup perfectly. And Natasha's one of those players. Her defense creates offense, and she's always one of the fastest and hardest to run back down after a block. So I think it could be a mental thing too. So, because like you said, Cassie, with those layups, it's like I don't know if it's matchup wise or if it's just, oh man, I just missed it,
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, one thing that I've up until last night or the last game against Seattle, I've been kind of watching is like Tasha's averaging a career high in offensive rebounds, and I think a lot of those are just easy putbacks. And like going into the first Seattle game, she had 4 offensive rebounds in the last 3 games. Prior to that, she was averaging about 4 a game, which is ludicrous. I think it was like 3.8 without bringing it up. Now it's down to 3.3. She ended up having 7 offensive rebounds against Seattle, and like, that kind of blew my theory out. I do think a lot of it is fatigue. Like, she is playing defense out of her mind right now. She's
correct.
An undersized center, And when you're playing really hard on defense, sometimes your arms get tired and you chunk a layup, which, I mean, I guess, the proof of concept with that would be if she comes out of All-Star break and is playing 27, 28 minutes and her field goal percentage goes back above 60% and it starts to look like she did at the beginning of the season. I mean, also a lot of these players will get injuries and we'll just never hear about it. So
that's true too. Yeah.
A lower back thing, or could she be dealing with something that we'll just never know about? And then randomly in September, she'll start playing better. Like, who knows? It's one of the frustrating things of like when a player just kind of falls off a little bit. And then I kind of, I don't know. I expect her to come back around. Her life isn't going to get harder with Fee back on the court, right?
No, I don't think there's a comment in the chat that says Cheryl needs to play her 5 minutes. I don't think Cheryl won't control that. Tosh is on the other team at All-Star, but Cheryl's got Liv and Court, which I don't know. I'm personally excited at the thought of seeing Olivia Miles in an All-Star game setting and what sort of audacious passing we might see. We could. That we're getting ahead of ourselves, moving ahead, looking at the weekend. But I'm interested to see how that plays out.
It's gonna be so fun because I do think she's been holding back because Cheryl, is Cheryl. And
Cheryl said at media this week she's gonna Liv will love All-Star coach Cheryl. So it's like, okay. I wonder what they have in store, but we'll see.
I hope she goes for the record.
What? Oh, go for it.
The assist record.
What is the assist record?
I don't know, but whatever it is, I hope she goes for it.
I'm going to Google the assist record while we have ads playing, and we're going to talk about that when we come back. There also was a chat of just 11 out of the final 16 games are against playoff teams.
It's a tough schedule. It's
a little bit.
That's what I said. They're about to be tested.
It's like
it's going to get real.
Yeah.
But first ads. Well, hello. Thank you, Livestream Andrew. This is Ad Read Andrew. And today we have Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, the presenting sponsor for the Missing Lynx podcast. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling strives to inspire people to follow their ideas, working with respect and understanding to create a quality, tailored result. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, located in Blaine and serving in the North Metro area, is here to help you with your building and remodeling needs. I can say personally, thanks to Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, I have a beautiful deck in my backyard and countless projects that I started, they finished. Get started on your new deck or remodel today by calling Isaac at 763-710-5686. Well, we should have another ad that. And we're back with another ad read. This time for Pence Homes, the presenting sponsor of Hitting the Hardwood Network. From the best tools and technology to transparency throughout the entire process, Nate Pence and the Pence Homes team is the top choice for buyers, sellers, and is proud to support you and your home ownership goals. Get started today by calling 612-308-1122 or by emailing info@pencehomes.com. So the top search result for who has the most assists in a WNBA All-Star game comes from Guinness Book of World Records, which I didn't realize still was a thing. But it was Skylar Diggins last year. She had 15. And the picture for this just monumentous award includes the largest afro and the tallest man, not Skylar Diggins. So,
okay.
Not.
I think 15 is doable. I think I can see her getting about, depending on the minutes, I can see her getting between 15 to 20.
She's got Asia on her team too, so
that's what I'm saying. I think she can.
I mean, isn't Cece Clark on her team though?
She is, yes.
Are we going to see some like ball hoggery?
Hopefully not.
Or is Cheryl just going to bench Clark and be like, I only play winners, and then start this giant internet feud?
See what you did there? We weren't trying to bring up the Olympics. We weren't trying to bring up the Olympics.
That, Andrew.
We're trying to leave the Olympics beef alone.
Just saying, for my career, if Cheryl Reeve decided to bench Caitlin Clark and then every Cheryl Reeve quote I've ever had goes viral from all of the Indiana fans being upset, I think that would be delightful. Would work great for me.
Yeah.
As we have an instant please no, don't start, and then also a bunch of people egging Cheryl on. So split crowd in the chat here.
For sure.
Does anyone know how it would work if K-Mac gets put on the All-Star? Would she just replace Plum? Like, what team's Plum on?
Yeah,
I believe so. I think Plum is on is with Tosh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it'd be 2 links to.
Yeah, because Tosh was by herself. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that would be fun. I still wish Cheryl could pull off some trades and just get like
all the
4 Lynx players in Asia.
Well, that didn't that it's up to the GMs, so they don't they maybe don't have the allegiances that Cheryl has and Orphe had last year.
Mm-hmm.
Drama would be fun. Anyways, 11 out of 16 games to close the season against winning teams. They play Indiana, they play the Aces, they play Atlanta again. I believe they have another Liberty game. I can bring it up here just to double check.
They do. Golden State.
Honestly, they get the 2 easy ones against Toronto. Easy, in quotes. One's against Toronto. They get a, fairly easy Sparks game. I would assume the Sparks at that point in time are going to be thinking about draft odds and not necessarily chasing down Portland for the playoffs. I mean, other than that, though, it is just grueling. I understand they didn't really have a say in when Fee's going to come back. It sounds like it really was just, whenever Chuck cleared her, they're going to let her play, as evidenced by a noon game today. But you look at the first 3 games back, they go Tempo, Fever, Sparks, and then you have Aces, Wings, Fire, Aces, Valkyries, Mystics, Valkyries, Dream, Liberty, an easier game against Connecticut, and then 2 against the Fever. That is a just insane stretch.
That's brutal. Like, they're gonna need
that is brutal.
Everybody on that, Ooh.
They're gonna be battle tested for sure, though. They'll be tested for the playoffs for sure with that stretch.
Yeah,
for sure.
And what's kind of crazy is they have this 22-6 record. They're only 2 games up on the Aces and Valkyries. It's not like last year where they had like an 11-game lead going into the final month and a half. They're gonna need to win a ton of these games, right, Travis?
I totally agree. I mean, but bringing back a MVP runner-up, should help a little bit, because let's not forget the Aces game was close without Fee, so they've already laid down some foundation without Fee. So, Ola, different, even Maya, she was huge today. Those type of players are going to have that confidence going into it, where now we have some depth on that team, adding feedback to the mix. So I think they'll be okay down the stretch. If anything, like I said, they'll be battle tested, getting ready for the playoffs. But, I think they're right where they need to be. This was perfect timing. Let her come in, get her feet wet. That's not getting your feet wet. That's jumping in the water. You do a double-double. That's jumping in the water. Never mind. But, that's as huge as it can be. I mean, what? 24-10. I mean, she did everything and more that I expected. So I think they'll be fine down the stretch. The one I'm curious about is the Liberty game. Obviously, you want to see how they are. Do they have Satu back? Like, what's the flow of that? You want to know what's going on at that time. But I think they'll be fine.
There's really no movement, I don't think, unless I've missed something on Satu. I mean, that's a
head injury.
Crazy.
That's a tough, like,
concussions. I hope it's not a career thing and she's able to get back to playing and being healthy and never has another concussion. But I mean, it's basketball's physical.
It is physical. It is definitely physical. But I'm interested to see what they do. They got some games, like you said, they got the Sparks and they got the Suns. So I mean, they got a couple of games in there where it might not be as gruesome, but I think this team is battle tested and Fee's a competitor. All of them compete, but she's been wanting this stretch. I'm pretty sure she said, "Hey, let me get there before. Let me get a couple of games under my belt, and then
back Toronto a couple times."
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the other thing that I think is kind of notable about this stretch is home against Toronto. Then they go on the road to Toronto. Then they have 4 home games in a row before playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of the next 9 on the road. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just, I mean, even you look at like the home games that they have during that stretch. They're at Washington. They come home against the Valkyries. Granted, they get a Saturday, Sunday off, so it is like coming home for a couple days. But then they go back to Atlanta, come back home to play the Liberty, and then back to Connecticut.
I think there's a break there between the
yeah, that's right. After the Dream, it's the Olympic break. So never mind on that. The Dream game is still irritating though, because there's 6 games between the Valkyries and the Dream.
Yes,
and then everyone goes on Christmas vacation for 3 weeks and then have to come back and play the Liberty and Fever twice. I just
maybe
if they can come out of this stretch at 500, I think I'm going to be very impressed.
You think 500?
I'm not going that low.
I think that they would be not like.
I'm looking at at least 8-3 coming out.
So let's talk it out.
Okay.
So we got Toronto twice. I think the Lynx smack both of those games.
Me too.
I don't think Toronto is. I think their season is changing directions to where they're going to be like, how do we get a lottery pick and try and get in that conversation?
Well, they'll get Kiki Rice back eventually. I'm not that I think that would change the Lynx. As I think if they had her the whole season, maybe their season would be different. I don't know.
Probably in the playoffs if they had her the whole season. She was awesome.
Yeah.
Sunday, August 2nd, noon game at home against the Fever. I don't think they take that one. Like the Fever,
I don't think so either. That's one of the
number
3.
1 offense in the league since July. Lynx defense has been a struggle. They're going to be coming back. You know, they get a couple days off, but it's still home, Toronto home. Then you have
that's one of my 3. That's one of my 3 for sure.
They probably beat the Sparks, right? Like, if Plum's back and the Sparks are trying to make a playoff push, maybe it's more difficult. But like, I would take the Lynx. So they're 3-1. Home against the Aces Saturday at noon. Like
I don't got them getting that one.
Yeah, I think that's going to be more of a message game from Asia of like, oh, okay. Then you got Wings at home 2:30 start on the second day of a back-to-back. Like that's
I got them getting that one.
I think they get that one. I think
I got them getting that one.
I think they've solved. They've looked pretty.
They cut their wings a long time ago.
I know Dallas will want one though after.
I will just say Aces at noon. Next day 2:30 p.m. start against Dallas. Dallas is going to be off rest. Like I don't think that's going to be as Ben says. Dallas Wings don't play interior.
I'm about to say I'm not scared of Dallas like that. Yeah.
Then they do have a couple days off. They go on the road to Portland, 9 p.m. start, which RIP my sleep schedule. I have them beating Portland. So my count right now is they're 4-3. I think both of you guys have them at 5-2.
Yep.
Then they go to Vegas, 7 p.m. start.
They get that one.
Probably.
I'm at 5-3.
I think they beat Vegas on the road, but not at home.
Not at home.
I think that first one's
me and Cassidy are on the same.
Oh, that was more of a question. Anyway.
I think they split it, is what I would say.
I think they split against States.
Like if sure. I'm not going to argue which one. Valkyries, Wednesday 19th, 9 p.m. start. Again, RIP my sleep schedule. They've been awesome.
They have been.
They have 2 against the Valkyries on the 19th and the 24th. I think they probably split those.
I think Golden State gets its first ever win over the Lynx franchise.
I'm not
on that.
I think they get both of them.
I think the Lynx get both.
Okay.
I think they get both of them.
In between those Valkyries games, it is the Mystics. Like
they got that.
No, probably.
I'm looking at the Liberty. The Liberty is the third one for me.
6 days off, then they play the Dream. I don't know. That just feels like a we're ready for winter vacation loss.
What's the word that scheduling? What's
Scheduled
the
loss.
scheduled loss? Carol's used.
That might end up in a tie.
Yeah.
And then Liberty Sun, I think they probably lose
Liberty.
to the
That's the
Liberty
one I
People
think they
Sun.
drop is the Liberty. I think they dropped the Liberty.
I still think they get that. I mean,
And then 2 against the Fever, I think they probably split. So my total in that.
you think they
16
lose the
stretch-
season series against the Fever? One win, 2 losses.
I mean, it's less about like, do I think the Lynx are better than the Fever? Like, yes.
Yeah.
I just think like the Fever are I guess the Lynx are probably still going to be battling with the Aces and Valkyries the way I have it too. I'm just thinking like, I think the Fever are going to be, those 2 games are going to mean something to the Fever. They're right now like in a 3-way kind of race at the top of the East. And you're playing Tuesday at 7 and then Thursday at 7, 1 game in Indiana, 2nd game's in Minnesota. Usually easier to play the first game on your home court and then travel. Like, I just think
I can give you one of those.
I don't think the Fever are the better team, but like if they split that series, I wouldn't be surprised just because like it's
the way the schedule
kind of set
the way
up
the
for
schedule
the
is,
Fever to have a chance.
Okay, I can give you one of those. I mean, then that puts them at 4.
Can we all agree not to pluralize the Valkyrie? So the Valkyrie are called the Valkyries on ESPN and Bleacher Report. I think their name is actually the Valkyrie. But until I get more information, I am going to continue doing whatever app has it spelt as in front of me. I don't know. I think my 16 game stretch, I guess I had them at 10-6, and then you guys both had them at 13-3.
I switched over to 12-4.
12-4.
I think the Fever might get one of those after you explain the schedule.
But I think if they went 9-7 or 8-8, like I don't think that would be like a oh my gosh, the wheels have come off. I think it's more of just the scheduling sucked for them this year.
Yeah, but like I think the expectations that this team has for itself, like objectively when you look at it, right, it's like it's a hard stretch, it's a tough schedule. There's that FIBA break in between, like who knows what that'll look like. Like in a vacuum, I think like seeing a dip in like win percentage would not be like the most absurd thing, but the expectations that this team has for itself, which is you're playing playoff teams. We want to win a title. We need to beat playoff teams to win a title.
Correct.
Like I think that they would not. Like I think that the tone will just be like, I don't want to say negative. Like I think that Cheryl and the team does a good job of kind of keeping the bigger picture in mind, but I guess just having
I think if they go 8-8, I wouldn't be too concerned. Like me, Andrew Dukowitz sitting in this chair, I think I would be like, yeah, it makes sense. Like that schedule sucks. You're getting fee worked back into things. Like they've been surprisingly healthy this season outside of fee. Like 8-8, I'd kind of look at and be like, okay, like they're still going into the playoffs at 30-14, which is ludicrous. I think national media would be looking at it of like, I think the Lynx would be on TV a lot of like what happened to the Lynx, like their seasons falling apart, all of that stuff. Like if they go 13-3, which like I do agree with your premise, Cassidy, like this team has championship aspirations. If they want to win a championship, they got to do it. Like if you want to be the favorite going in, you got to rip some of these games away and just win. If they go 13-3, they're 35-9.
Yeah, like that's a better record than last year.
That's insane.
I'll take that any day.
Maybe, I mean, I don't know. I think when you look at the way that the Aces ended last regular season and like the way that they like crescendoed into the playoffs, and
that was
the Lynx
crazy.
Obviously post All-Star break had kind of a weird moment with Fee, rolling her ankle for the first time in that game against Vegas, and kind of had that, up and down a little bit. I mean, they were still winning, but not maybe quite the clip they were. I mean, I think that like the way you end the season, like sets the tone. You know.
I agree. I
Like
mean,
the New
look
York
at what,
Giants, right, Travis?
huh?
It's like the New York Giants, right?
Huh?
You end on a winning streak and then you
No,
go
I'm
into the
not trying to
playoff
listen
pot.
to you.
And
I'm not trying to listen to you. That's the whole point. Get over it. Anyways, but I kind of look at the premise of piggybacking off of Cassidy, like what did Asia do last year when she came back? And then how she took that momentum. So look at what Fee coming back now. We might have some momentum going into the playoffs as well, you know, where she just started ripping off games. And I'm looking at it from that standpoint. So I'm either on that 13-3 or 12-4, but I'm right there with Cassie. Like if you want to win, you want to go into the playoffs as the favorites, you got to go in there and take it, you know. So you can't go in there, you know, 8-8. I feel like you go in there 8-8, it's like it's kind of a toss up, and then nobody's really talking about you the way that they really need to. And that can hurt somebody's confidence too. I'm not saying, you know, who knows? Like I know Liv is a confident player and everything, but what if she has a stretch where she has these turnovers that Andrew keeps bringing up, and then all of a sudden now we're looking at a situation. Look. Now all of a sudden we're looking at confidence. Oh, is she still rookie of the year? You know how the national media is. So I'm curious to see.
Based on the way we talked about the start of the season and then how the last couple months have been, thinking about how we're talking now and then how it'll end up, they're probably going to go 16-0. Yeah, so it's 15 for Feet came back.
This is the problem with my predictions.
You know, we're probably going to be like, oh, what were you worried about?
Andrew, you got people calling you out, man. You said they were going to be 50-50, man. What's up?
Man, I thought Lan was coming back. I thought Lan and T were back for sure. I thought they were going to be 500 going into the Fee coming back, and then they'll rip it off at the end. Like,
Andrew,
I said Fee would be back in like early June. This has been a really bad season for my prediction.
We should watch the first pod. I think that I think Terry L was on it. Like, you should rewatch some of those first ones that you did with everybody.
I want to see his takes. His takes were probably monstrous.
I will say, I was so positive about this team at the Hitting the Hardwood like preseason thing where we put our predictions in. I was like, Lynx are going to go to the finals still. Like, you were 500 and then they'll rip it off. And I got like accosted for that of like, quit being a homer. Like, you don't know how bad this team's going to be. And it's like, they have significantly done better than I thought they would. But
everybody for sure.
If we go back into early May, there was a lot of doom and gloom. Ben actually read my mind right now. First off, I did not want Lauren Betts. Let's not.
Oh, dang.
I was an AZ FUD.
He was AZ FUD. No, I will stand on that. You were AZ because I remember you was like, AZ can kind of be that next K-Mac, and develop into that. I also didn't think
Cheryl and a rookie point guard could exist. Like, I didn't think Cheryl could do a rookie point guard. She has well exceeded like that thought in my head. Like, she can make a rookie point guard the best point guard in the world. Ben did jump on my final question to close here. Remember, you only need one good month to win MVP. There isn't any games deadline. What would Fee have to do? Like, let's say Lynx are 15-1 to close the season. What's the stat line that Fee would have to do to win MVP?
I think it would have to be crazy because of how good they were.
46 a game.
If they were like fourth or fifth seed maybe, and she came in
and then she ripped it,
and they went up. But I think like, what stats could she put up that would be like, you're going to not only jump like everyone in MVP standings, but also the own person on your team. Who Fee gave a shout out to in the press conference today, saying that Liv was a MVP candidate. And so like I maybe say no, like there's no possible stat.
I don't think there's a possibility.
Like 50 points a game. That's not how the Lynx play.
Nah.
Fee's just
it's definitely
42 a game on 50, 40, 90 with 17 rebounds and like 7 blocks. Like,
the way that they're positioned right now, it would be making it really hard case, right?
That's why Asia got it last year, because they fought and clawed back to get into that position, you know. So with Fee coming back, she's dropping into the number 1 spot, and it's like, well, you do this already, so it doesn't. We're not going to reward you for this, you know.
Which is
I
a
also
shame.
think, like, talking to a lot of people that voted on it last year, of just Fee missed a quarter of the season. Like, I do think, you know, Asia missed half as many games, had the like late season push, did put up really good numbers. And if there was like, there's a couple voters I talked to who were like, literally I was tied, and then Fee kept missing games, and it was just like, well, the Lynx are still winning without her, so I guess we'll go with Asia, which,
yeah.
I mean, this
and I
year
said that
it
last
seems
year
like
to you
it's
too.
just
Remember
Asia.
that?
Yeah.
I said that to you last year. I was like, the Lynx keep winning without her is hurting her MVP case, you know. And with Asia, it's like, you take Asia out the equation, like the Aces were not winning any of those games, you know. So there was a huge difference, and every win that the Lynx got, I knew it was hurting her case. But I mean, with this scenario, I mean, I love the fact that she shouted out Liv earlier too. I mean, you know, because I mean, Liv, that's the question we really need to ask. What can Liv do stat wise moving forward in these last 16 games to push her to be an MVP?
This might be me just being cynical. I couldn't see them giving a rookie the MVP.
I mean, it
like,
happened with
even if
Candace
she
Parker.
put up like the rest of the season, if she put up like 27 and 10 with 5 rebounds, I think they'd still give it to Asia, just because like the stones that every voter would have to give it to a rookie would just be like, has a rookie in any sport won MVP?
Candace
Parker. Yeah, Candace Parker
Candace
won
Parker.
it.
Oh, yeah. Candace Parker. Like, yeah, especially over Asia too.
I mean, but we're talking most valuable. So you take Liv off of this Lynx team, how many wins do they have?
I think
Who knows?
I almost think it would.
That's the problem.
I almost think that maybe it would have to play out like almost like last year, where like if the Aces come back, not saying, you know, injury aside, right? Like take that out of it. But like if the Aces come back, they start losing, you know, I don't know. Like there's sort of that team, you know, factor. Maybe they finish, you know, 4 or 5 seed. I don't know. I mean, there's no arguing what like Asia means to that team in terms of like what wins they can pull out. But I think that like team success does carry a lot of that. And, you know, if Liv can come out and, you know, pull her averages up a little, I mean, she's meant so much to this team that it's like, who's number 1 in the standings? Like, and the way she facilitates, right? Like just looking at her numbers aren't always an indicator of like how good that game. I mean, sure, assists maybe in terms of like how much she's been able to engage a player like K-Mac or a player like Tosh, but it's just so it's hard.
Put a number on it, Cassidy. Goes. Come on, spit it out.
What she'd have to average?
Put a number on it.
Finishing like at the end of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Lynx were the 1 seed. Yeah, Paige is in the combo too. Yeah, that's tough. You have another guard, you know, sort of doing similar things. I mean, obviously the Lynx have had a little more. Gosh, I don't even know who the last guard to win MVP was. Wait, I know this.
I mean, I'm just trying to think of like, she'd have to get her scoring. What's her scoring at right now? It's at 19.6. You'd probably have to get that to closer to like 24. I think you'd have to get, she's at 4.8 rebounds. I think that could stay the same, like around 5-ish is probably. And then the assists would have to get up to like 8, 9. Like you have to have 2 things, right? Like you can't just be a scorer. Voters will overlook that. Like I think you would have to have like an eye-popping assist total. So like, are you going to get the assists and the points to pass Asia? I think the other thing that like we aren't talking about enough yet, because there's just not a big enough sample size, is like Liv's defense has been pretty bad the last like 10 games. That would need to get a lot closer to the May-June Olivia Miles defense than the July defense to start getting like that defensive rating and steal percentage and stocks back up. But I just think at the end of the day, like, I think voters are going to just give it to Asia if it's close. Like, Liv would have to blow the doors off.
Yeah, no, I agree with you
blowing
guys.
the doors off. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
that's blowing the doors off.
She's blowing the doors off. Like, she's just everything. The standard of comparison is like so, you know. When
yeah, that's why I was curious to see. It's like that's why I was curious to see what y'all would think. You know, because I mean, you know, we're talking most valuable player. You take Liv off that team, you know, especially after the losses that the Lynx just had in the offseason. I mean, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I love Asia, don't get me wrong, but what I'm seeing from Liv, I mean, I don't see why she can't win both awards, in my opinion. But we gotta get past the 16 games. I think if she gets up to like 21 points, 8 assists, you know, we're making some moves with her, you know, anything's possible.
The assist thing is the one for me of like, I feel like if a guard's gonna win it, they either need to be at like 26, 7, and 7, or like one of those other ones has to be up there. Because Travis, you know this, like covering the NBA, like a lot of people who vote don't really put in the like time that other people do.
Stuff,
like,
yeah, that makes sense.
I'll be honest, like I don't have an award vote. Part of the reason that like if it was offered to me, I would have to like sit and like hyperventilate over the weekend is because like I've watched 3 Fever game this year. Like, who am I to have any opinions on the Fever this year?
Yeah,
I think that's how a lot of voters are, where they've probably caught 5 or 6 Lynx games and they're going to be voting on awards. And I think Liv would have to get something, like the points would have to be eye popping, and then either she'd have to like lead the league in steals or second to Caitlin Clark in assists, or something would have to be up there to get those.
No, I agree.
Like, yeah,
I agree. I just wanted y'all opinion on it because
no, it's interesting. I mean, it's such a like high praise that's even like
I know.
Yeah, for sure.
A thought,
For sure.
You know, that's even a conversation. I mean, holy, like, wow.
She has played 26 games, and she is. I would say she is firmly in second for MVP this year. Like,
you think so above Paige?
I think so. I think Paige is going to get tagged a little bit of like they weren't. I think they probably finished as like a 6 or 7 seed.
Interesting.
You have what? You have.
I would love to see your predictions for the playoff seeding, because it's interesting. If you think the Lynx might be 500 and Dallas might be a 6.
That's crazy. To me, 500.
I want to see the Andrew Dukowitz playoff bracket prediction.
Yeah. We need to see a playoff tree.
Let's talk it out. So let's say the Lynx are the 1 seed. We'll compromise. Lynx are the 1 seed. Aces are 2, right? Like,
yeah.
Valkyries as currently constructed are 3. I don't see them slowing down a ton. They win off of defense and just grit. Like, that's very repeatable. I think New York has like an end of the season surge in them to where they get up. They're only 2 games behind Indiana. Indiana's currently the 4 seed. I think New York surges and gets the 4 seed. Indiana's probably the 5, best offense in basketball. Dallas is the 6. Like, I think Dallas is better than Washington. I think they're better than who else is in there? Let me bring up the standings. I think they're better than Washington. I think they're better than
this strength of schedule like thing. I was looking at this earlier, like yesterday. Lynx have the second toughest schedule left. So,
as Ben says, as of now, the Lovely Wings are losing to the Sky again. So.
The Golden State, Dallas, Atlanta. Oh wow, the 5 easiest schedules technically left. I think there's some flaws in like how this works. Right?
Real quick, Atlanta I forgot about, and then the other playoff team is Atlanta's the one that I forgot about. So like, I guess for the 6, I would. Again, I just think the Liberty and Fever, the Liberty's gonna finish strong, and I think the Fever are gonna be like continue winning. So maybe Atlanta drops to 6, and then you have Dallas as the 7 and Washington as the 8.
It's gonna be a fun playoff. Like
It definitely will.
That's gonna be It's gonna be a fun playoffs. Wow.
Yeah, we're definitely in for a treat for sure with some good basketball. I mean, the league's getting better, and I'm gonna say this right now: don't let Juju fall to Seattle. Seattle's looking good too.
They don't need Malunga, Pham, and Juju. That
would be
and Flauge. No.
And Flauge,
Yeah. We need to rig it. WNBA, Cassidy, if you're listening, your go out on top moment can be rigging the draft. I mean,
I'm just saying,
probably not going to last too long, anyways.
I was going to say, I think that the Lynx, like the best, I don't know if A-Rod and Lore, maybe invest in some cloning material and try to clone Emma and get to really you just get like teams are just gonna need something to deal with Dom and Awa as their 20-year-old like front court that theoretically could be there for
years. I mean, because they're 20 and 19. It's not like I understand the Lynx just got the back-to-back MVP back up, and that is inherently not fair. Also, like 2029 Seattle is just going to be insane.
They're as someone watching from, I don't know, people who cover the team, follow the team, like closely watch all their games, like that sort of stuff. Like, I can't imagine probably having better vibes for a 6-23 team where you're losing.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have the benefit or like the downside, right? That like their 2-year draft window for the lottery is not going to be the best, like just because last year they were a playoff team. So we'll see, but it's hard to watch that and not be like feel like they're a couple pieces away from something versus certain other teams where it's like what direction.
The Mercury, every time I've watched the Mercury, it's just like woof.
Yeah, it's tough.
I don't know what the pivot is. I don't know if you can trade Alyssa Thomas. I have no clue how they fix that situation.
Yeah.
They have a lot of money tied up and they're not very good.
No.
Ugh. All right. Anyways, we're hitting an hour. Travis, where can people find you? Thanks for doing this, man. I always appreciate you.
Oh, no problem, bro. You know that. You can find me all socials. Sneaker Reporter. Definitely check out sneakerreporter.com for all the latest stuff with links. Also, Timberwolves stuff, free agency wise. I'm gonna be doing SummerSlam stuff, so Andrew will as well. Just looking forward to seeing what this team's gonna do. Continue to evolve daily with content, and appreciate both of y'all for allowing me to be on as well.
Dude, 100%. You're always welcome. Cassidy, what do you got going on? How's life? Plug all of your things.
Yeah, life is good. Tomorrow I'm getting up bright and early and driving to Chicago for All-Star Weekend, which I'm super pumped about. That will be there. And so, we'll have different coverage. I think we'll have a live blog going from different stuff there from media avails and a few stories I'll be working on over the weekend and gathering stuff for some more stuff to come over the next few weeks as the season ends. So I'm fast forwarding us too fast. Not as the season ends. We still have 2 more months of regular season. So I'll have that stuff there. I'm at Cassidy Het on most of my socials, or Cassidy H Sports on Instagram. And then of course StarTribune.com/sports is where my work gets published.
Awesome. Well, if you joined in
one question real quick. One question.
Yes, sir.
Are you going to be making an appearance with the Stud Buds?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I don't think I have that sway, but the Chicago, well, I never covered anything at United Center, just Wintrust where the Sky play. And so I know where the media setup is there. So, they're pretty close to the court, so I wouldn't be surprised if maybe a photo bomb video crashing maybe in the background where I'm set up for my media tables. But we'll see. I wasn't there last year, so I don't know if I'm presuming that with media they're probably set up in little tables you can go around and ask players' questions. It's kind of how stuff I feel like gets set up at like championship games, All-Star weekends, whatever. So if Court's got that running, maybe you'll hear my voice asking her a question or something.
I mean, 72 hours of live stream, and I bet they only sleep for like 14 hours the whole weekend. Like there's a good chance you're going to be in there at some point.
You're definitely going to be in there for sure.
I'm interested in watching, the documentary that'll come out on Friday. The ESPN one.
Yeah, with Asia and Fee.
Fee and Duana Bonner. And I'm just curious what, that'll all entail. And I was laughing, thinking about like if they have Fee and the, press conference and stuff from the end of exit interviews. I'm like, maybe the back of my head will be, we'll see.
You never know.
Anyway.
You never know. Sit in the middle, the back of the head. If you want your back of the head in press stuff.
I don't. But
off to the side. Anyways, if people joined into this late, it does get posted up on YouTube and X as soon as we end stream here. If you can wait until tomorrow, Thursday, it'll come out as a podcast at 7 a.m. wherever you get your podcast. I'm Andrew, Cassidy, Travis. Fun. This is fun. Thanks, guys, for coming on, and we will catch you probably this weekend. I'll probably do something this weekend. I know Terry has offered to come on. Cassidy, I know you said you'd be down if it works out time-wise. We'll probably do some sort of live stream all-star thing that rivals the Stud Buds. We'll see what crossover viewage. We'll see what crossover viewership I have by how many people aren't here on a weekend stream because they're watching the Stud Buds. That might be interested. But again, thanks everyone for listening.
Bye-bye.